Hi, it's Steve Ehrlich. I'm here in the agency's offices in London, and I wanted to share with you some of my thoughts on the future of digital strategy. There's always a problem with that, which is that anytime I try to be a futurist and I get out my crystal ball, I'm often wrong. So I hope that what I share with you now is at least directionally accurate, and I think it is. Before we look forward at digital strategy, though, I think it's important to take a quick look back and to think about where we've been. Digital strategists were relegated to the idea of the desktop. And consumers and candidates were stuck using these devices that eventually morphed into laptops. And we tried to create experiences and websites and content that really function that way. And what we've seen, and we all know, is the emergence of something that everybody uses every single day. In fact, we're shooting the video on it right now, which is a mobile device. And these mobile devices are so powerful, so ubiquitous, that they're everywhere that we go and we operate. And so digital strategy moved into that arena, right? How do we become mobile and drive this idea of mobility and connect with people? So the leap that we have to take, and I think where digital strategy is going to go in the next 5, 10 years, and see where we go in 20 even, is around this idea of ambient information. Content that surrounds us everywhere. It's easily accessible 24/7. It's there however and whenever we want it. And it's not just content we access. It's the ability for our candidates and our consumers to actually generate content in that ambient fashion. So if I go back to the mobile and I think about how we're using it today, and just some basic examples. If I wanted to go see a film, perhaps I wanted to see Skyfall, I could type that into Google on my mobile device. And what it would do is it would tell me where it was playing, where I could actually buy tickets and allow me to buy a ticket. It would show me a trailer. It would let me know who's in the cast. So that experience is kind of rich, and the information's there accessible on demand. Well, when we think about employment, we need to start doing that same kind of stuff, giving people realistic job previews on their mobiles. So digital strategists have to think about how we take the ambient information that's around us and deliver it to the end user, and also how we leverage the end user to generate that content for us that can then be shared back with others. So we've got lots of information out there. And everybody's heard this whole conversation that's happening around this idea of big data. And big data is really powerful, but we also need to think about little data. So big data is where organizations take these terabytes of information, they run all sorts of analyses and statistical regressions and all that kind of stuff to figure out the consumer. But I think little data is where the digital strategy is going to go. Think about, as an individual, the kinds of information that are available about you for personalization. So I'll use the example. Here's my Nike Fitband. And when I use my Nike Band, it keeps track of my calories, the steps I've taken, the workouts that I've done, and it connects to my mobile, and it connects to my desktop, and of course it connects to Nike. And so Nike now knows who I am, starts to give me specific information about who I am and what I like and what I want. So this is nothing new. We've all seen this. But what we need to think about is how that Nike Fitbit and this mobile device plays into the Internet of Things. So as digital strategists, how do we start to create experiences, content, and conduits to this Internet of Things so we can start sharing information both outbound to the end user and again aggregating it from the end user? So wearables are a big thing. You saw my Nike Fitbit. Everybody's talking about Google Glass and the fact that ambient information is accessible all the time. It's around you everywhere you go. If you think about going back to the mobile for a second, this isn't just a mobile device. In my hand, I hold the sum total of all human knowledge up to this point in time because I can access anything anywhere. So something like this is Star Trek come to life. It's the tricorder. It's the ability to literally see everything anytime without having to go to your handheld, but it's projected in front of you. So how are digital strategists going to take advantage of that? The Internet of Things, the ambient information. But most importantly, digital strategy is now not just about the bell, the whistle, the fancy solution. It's all about making sure that we translate the experience from a poor one to a good one, no matter where the individual is. So whether it's today, tomorrow, 5 years, or 20 years, these basic fundamentals, I think, are really going to drive the idea of digital strategy. I hope that was interesting. I hope I can be right in some ways. Have a great day.